What's up with Knicks fans, yo?
We're the greatest.
Yeah.
We're the greatest.
Why?
What do you mean, why? Because we're the greatest city in the world, and we're the greatest people in the world, because you can't have the greatest city without the greatest people. And now we're coming close to success, closer than we've been in decades. And it's very exciting for us. And if we win a championship, we might destroy the entire fucking city.
Why only the Knicks bring this out of people? The Giants don't bring this out of people.
Because New York City
the
is
Yankees don't.
a basketball city. This is the thing a lot of people don't realize. Our high schools, a lot of them don't have any sport that you could play outside of basketball. There's no room for anything else. There's no room for a baseball team. There's no room for a football team. There's no room for a hockey team. The only thing we got is basketball. So New York, at its core, has one sport that we care about, and it is basketball.
That makes all the sense in the fucking world.
And if the Knicks win a championship, it will look like Gaza in Times Square.
Jesus Christ.
Damn.
The Knicks will the Knicks fans, we will destroy Times Square.
Nah, I don't think they will.
No, we will.
Brother,
I think they love to see. You know what I do? But
there's a part of me that almost hopes if we win, it's an away game, because if it's at home, it is going to be.
It don't matter if it's away.
Years
Let's give
of
Knicks fans some props, though.
You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
They're doing all of this, and the only thing they fucking up is people. You ain't heard about no shops or anything getting fucked up. Only person getting fucked up is people.
Yo,
this guy there, Tyrese Halleburton,
I'm telling y'all, this is very important, and you guys need to understand this, okay? The Knicks have been so bad for so long that a lot of y'all got comfortable wearing the jerseys from the opposing teams in this city. Mm-hmm. You got comfortable having pride in the places that you're from. That was tolerated because we were so bad. Now that the Knicks are good, it's going back to like the 70s, 80s energy, and it will not be safe. What I mean is dead serious. I do not suggest, for your safety, wearing your team's jersey, meaning the Indiana Pacers, and when we get past the Pacers, who's probably going to be OKC? Or Thunder jersey in New York.
I would not. I don't know.
But Pacers specifically because of the history.
The history, yeah.
I would not wear an Indiana Pacers jersey in New York City for the next couple weeks. That is my
Ron
deepest dark.
Wouldn't even help you in a Pacers jersey.
No, he wouldn't. He'd be the first person to swing on you.
Ron would be like, "Get the fuck out of here." You know, somebody had a conversation. We was having a conversation the other day, and they were talking about, who's the face of the NBA, and somebody said. First of all, they name all these foreigners. No foreigner will ever be the face of the NBA.
Not happening.
I don't give a fuck how many jerseys they sell. It's just, here's the thing. Luka Doncic has the #1 selling jersey in the NBA.
And you can't even pronounce his name.
And he's not, but is he the face of the NBA?
No.
Giannis has a top 10 jersey.
Nope.
Is he the face of the NBA?
Nope.
Shai has a top 10 jersey. Is he the face of the NBA?
Nope.
No. A foreigner will never be the face of the NBA. They might get a lot of love internationally. Do you know who people want to be the face of the NBA? Ant fucking man.
And if Ant didn't have 4 baby mamas and all this other off-court drama, they would have handed him the keys to the league. But the fact that he's got some fuck shit going on outside of basketball, they're a little hesitant. But the people want him.
He hasn't had that moment yet, though.
That's what I'm saying. On the court. That's what I'm saying.
But everything about him.
No, he has the aura. He has the talent.
The game,
he got the personality.
He's got it all.
He's exciting.
He hasn't had that 50-point game.
Get a vasectomy and they'll give him the league. If Ant gets a vasectomy, they will hand him the keys to the NBA for the next decade. I promise you.
If Ant balls out in this Western Conference Finals and makes it to the finals, there's nothing the league can do. Regardless,
it will be
the
AI.
culture is going to give it to him.
It will be AI.
Yes.
Like the league didn't want to give it to him, but AI was too prolific.
Now, I'm going to tell you something else. If the New York Knicks, which I do think the Knicks are going to the finals, if the Knicks get to the finals,
brother,
and if they win, the will of New York is going to make Jalen Brunson the face of the league. Okay? Jalen Brunson is going to be Jesus Almighty.
Let Jalen Brunson bring a championship back home.
Oh, my God.
I'm going to tell you who.
Oh, my God.
No, but you know who's going to be the most beloved? Like, it will be Jalen's league, but who New Yorkers will love the most is Josh Hart. Yeah. We've always loved the dog. Hustle, defense, rebound. Like, Charles Oakley was more beloved than Patrick Ewing. This is a fact. It is what it is. John Starks was more beloved. We like a grimy motherfucker that's willing to go get it. And I'm telling you right now, it will be Jalen's team. But the love of the city,
I don't know, bro.
The
reason I say that is because Jalen be looking like prime Kobe, prime Mike in them clutch moments.
No. They both get the keys, but
what about OG then?
I
'Cause I
love.
feel like he
I love OG. I love that. He is just incredible. And low key, Bridges is playing outstanding.
Yeah.
The thing about like,
Robinson, lockdown. Like,
but Bridges specifically is really interesting. Like how certain players, like their skill set really works perfectly in the playoffs because during the regular season, there were moments where like you didn't know where he fit into the team. Like you didn't know where he fit into the offense. He's like chilling in the corner. He's not really known as a 3-point shooter. In the playoffs, assholes get tight. Defense gets really good. And you need guys who can just
man, that's just like a freak off. Assholes get tight, D gets really good. That's why he got all the baby oil, Taylor. Okay? The assholes get tight, but the D gets really good.
really good.
Oh.
And you need a guy like Bridges who can create his own shot. And that's just what happens. Like when Jalen goes to the bench, OG can create his own shot a little bit too, but Mikal Bridges, whenever he fucking wants, can get you 2 points. And he's having a hell of a playoffs. It's beautiful to see. This team is
one name you guys haven't mentioned, interestingly.
yeah, Cat is doing his thing.
Okay.
He's doing his thing.
He didn't have a great series last series. He showed up in game
He
6.
balled out in game 6.
He balled out in game 6. I'm telling you right now, Cat's gonna have an amazing series against the Pacers.
No.
He's
We
gonna have an
fuck,
amazing series against the Pacers.
we fuck with
But
Cat.
somebody told me they were talking about Tyrese Halliburton, and they was like, Tyrese Halliburton would be the face of the league. Never.
No.
Yeah, I can't see that.
He don't have it. Never. He don't have the personality. See, it's all about the personality.
It's also like I was about to say small market team, but like so is the Timberwolves. So it's-
Bron was in a small market team. Also, too, you know the other thing about being the face of the league? It's kind of preordained before you even get to the league. Like, Bron was preordained. Michael Jordan was preordained. Magic and Bird was preordained. Shaq was preordained.
No, you're right.
Like-
Kobe too.
Kobe to a certain extent,
There-
only because they knew he had potential.
There was so much hype around.
But they
Kobe.
never gave Kobe the face of the league, though. I've said that. They never gave it to Kobe.
Nah. Kobe had it.
He never had it, yo.
He had it for a while.
Kobe had it.
He never had it.
Just the situation over there.
That's my point. He was the best, and we knew it, and culture recognized Kobe for it. The league never gave him them keys because of that freaking charge.
I think he had it for a few
Nah,
years.
bro.
Did.
Nah, they tried. Like, after the Shaq Kobe era, and then Kobe caught that charge, that's when you started hearing the Kobe LeBron thing. That was the Nike campaign was literally Kobe LeBron. Jeezy was coming out with the records and everything. They really tried to bump Kobe to the side. There were years Kobe should have been MVP. They gave it to Steve fucking Nash. You know what I mean? Kobe won 2 titles after that shit. Went to the finals 3 times, and they still didn't. He wasn't the face of
No, that's
the
an
league.
interesting point. How many MVPs did Kobe have?
1.
Yeah, so they didn't really hand him the league.
No.
Yeah, that's a good
1.
point. I think that's a really good point.
After that charge, they did not make Kobe the
What about
face of the league.
Steph?
Yeah, that was
Absolutely
they handed
face
it
of the
to him.
league.
That was his.
For how long?
5 years.
I think he had it longer than that. I keep telling y'all
7
that
years?
shit over and over. Steph Curry is the number 3 greatest basketball player of all time.
Okay.
Okay.
I feel like
Michael Jordan, Kobe
I feel like
Bryant,
he's
Steph Curry.
shared it with LeBron.
No,
for
I
that whole
I
time.
beat LeBron 3 times in NBA Finals. What am I sharing?
No.
I went to.
I'm not
I
saying-
played you head up in the finals 4 times. I beat you 3. What are we sharing?
I'm talking about the way the league
Everybody plays like me.
That's
Even
true.
the people with
you're right.
vaginas. Even the other league. The greatest player in your sport plays like me.
That is right. That's
Steph
true.
Curry is Curry GOAT.
All right.
And stop acting like he's fucking not. Okay? You know why they front on Steph? Because he's light skinned.
Yeah, it is true,
If
man.
Steph was dark skinned and came from a struggle, if his dad was not in his life, okay, and he
They
was
would've
raised by
handled
a single, oh my God.
Yeah, you're
That's
right.
why Brunson will never get it. Light skin, and he
Nah,
he doesn't have the charisma as much.
I think
Nah, Brunson got charisma.
No,
I
but
think-
the personality.
Nah,
that's
Brunson got
Nah,
personality.
Brunson's just media trained. Like his dad was a player,
Yes.
so he's been in the game so long. Like he knows how to, act in interviews, etc. He's being like very political. Whereas,
We don't want that.
We don't want
somebody-
that.
We want
Let me tell
somebody.
you something.
but MJ was very political. That's the other thing that's tricky.
Well, it was a different era. So
That's true.
all of them guys were media trained.
Yeah,
Yo,
that's true.
Who the fuck was I listening to the other day? I was listening to something and they was breaking this shit down about how David Stern came in and changed the league because the league was the league, and really he was saying the league was becoming too black, meaning like the way that they were wearing their earrings and the suits. Who the fuck was I listening to?
Well, before that, they had a major drug problem. That's the first
It was
thing.
the drug problem, yes.
Clean that up first. That was the first move.
Yeah, everybody doing coke.
Yep.
It was like in the late 80s.
Well,
Yeah.
the mid 80s was coked out.
Okay.
Everybody was coked
And then
out.
he cleaned it up by the late 80s.
But we should know that there was fist fights during the game. Like there was a lot of
Great
cocaine
time.
energy in the league.
Great
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Come on, let's not act like that wasn't a great fucking time.
Nah, it was.
That was a great motherfucking time.
Maybe bring a little coke back to the league. Like, that was a
I
good
think they
time.
on it now. All I'm saying is this, and I'm gonna tell you something else. If Jalen Brunson wins a championship for New York, by the way, any of these guys that we're talking, everybody that's in there, OKC, New York City, Minnesota, who else is it? Fucking Indiana. If Jalen Brunson wins a championship for New York City, you're going to realize how you win a championship and where you win a championship
Matters.
matters.
Yup.
If LeBron James had played his whole 22 years in Cleveland and won one ring for that organization, we'd be having a whole different conversation about LeBron. If LeBron had stayed in Cleveland this whole time and had all of those numbers and everything else, there would be no debate about LeBron James, and people would absolutely, positively, probably be discussing him as the greatest NBA player of all time with really no pushback.
Oh, wow.
Do you think location matters as much as it used to historically?
Yes,
Really?
absolutely. Because if you win a ring for New York ain't won in 52 years.
It's
It's a storied
but I
basketball
just feel like
franchise.
back in the day, you literally were limited to how much you could see certain players. Like a player in, let's say, Ant in Minnesota. I was only seeing him if he was on the ABC game of the week. There
Yeah.
was no other, like,
It's like the Atlanta Braves baseball team like had all these superstars on it, but only because Turner Media or whatever was putting it on TV
They
every
never
single
won
day.
shit. That's why I grew up watching.
Yeah.
I grew up watching
David Justice, David Cohn,
Ron Grant, John Smoltz, Tom
Smoltzy.
Glavine.
Yup.
They had that crazy ass pitching staff, and they never won shit. But they was on TV all the motherfucking time.
right,
They
but
didn't
every
win one.
team is like that, what I'm saying, with League Pass and all these different.
Yeah, you're
Network.
saying there's more exposure to them, especially
A
online.
kid in New York's going to know Ant, whether he's in LA or Cleveland. It
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
really
why they could be so successful for sure. But still, when LA is in the championship, you see the numbers are way different. When the Knicks are going to be in the championship, the numbers for the actual ratings are going to be insane.
Well,
Like,
you don't think like LeBron was bigger than Cleveland? You don't think his
Indianapolis, OKC is a nightmare for the NBA.
That's tough.
Indianapolis, Minnesota is a nightmare for the NBA.
Shit, Cleveland was before
No, but that's what I'm
Bron.
saying.
Yeah.
Bron was so big that he superseded.
None of these guys are as big as Bron.
Right.
Yo, Luka did not have the number one jersey in the league until he went to LA. That's just a fact.
Oh, wow.
Luka did not have the number one selling jersey in the league till he went to fucking
But
LA.
I think that there's an issue with that. Nobody wants Luka's game. Like no young kid is like, I want to play like Luka. Slow, good balance, using your body. It's the same thing why like it's tough for big men. Like Cat is prolific. He's an amazing player, but no young kid is going, I want to have Cat's game. They look at Jalen.
because I gotta be 7 feet tall to have cats.
Exactly. It's tough for big men. So whereas like the small, like Ant, everybody wishes they could dunk on your head and also do step back
His
threes.
game is more exciting.
Steph Curry had the most exciting game in the history of NBA, in my opinion. I think he's had the most exciting game in the history of the game.
That was the last basketball jersey I bought. What's a Steph Curry?
I bought the sneakers from Under Armour.
I don't like how people front on Steph Curry, man. Like he literally is
More
a
exciting than
revolutionary
Jordan?
player.
Sorry?
More exciting than Jordan?
Yeah. His game was.
Oof.
His game was more exciting. Now, I think for the time, Jordan's game could
Yeah,
have been
for the
like
time.
transformative. But in terms of raw excitement, like shots you can't believe, like the way that Steph shoots the ball, I don't know if we ever see that again. Like it's unbelievable. It's unbelievable.
He's fucked the league up.
Low key.
That's what he's fucked the league up.
Well,
because
yeah.
People
'cause nobody
complain. They go, they're shooting too many threes.
you got to be gifted to do that.
Yep.
He's gifted. Everybody else has just practiced a
Do you
lot.
think Jason Tatum is pulling up for three the way that he does if Steph Curry's never in the league?
Oh, no. He broke the mold. There's no question. I mean, it's like this. And I was still playing ball at the time. When Iverson was popular, all of a sudden, everybody was going sideways instead of going straight to the
Facts.
basket. And they weren't Iverson. And to me, I was like, these guys are ruining the game.
Obviously got mad sons. Russell Westbrook,
Right. Now
D-Wade, D-Rose,
now you
100%.
watch kids
Kyrie
play
Irving.
ball, everybody's pulling from 30 feet.
Yep.
all Steph's sons.
I was playing when they introduced the 3-point line, right? I remember when they literally...
How old are you, Chris? You're not that old.
Were black people playing?
What? Yeah.
Was it a
Over
peace
there.
basketball?
Yeah. Now I know why he got the scholarship.
Right.
I could have got a scholarship to play in college too. Yeah.
I didn't get a scholarship, walk on. But
Yeah.
anyway, like people didn't shoot threes. The line was there. It took 10 years for people to even shoot threes.
Yeah.
I mean,
By the way, Michael did the same thing. Like, there was so many people who emulated Michael's
but
game.
no one could dunk.
Nobody could do it like him.
Anybody can shoot from 30. They might hit, they might miss. You couldn't dunk even if you wanted to.
But you know what though, with Jordan, and I know, like, to me, Jordan introduced hang time.
Yeah.
Like, people used to try to drive to the basket and hang in the air as long as they could to create some type of shot. That's what Jordan did.
Dominique too. Yeah.
Crazy.
So the Vince Carters and the
They're sons of
Harold
Jordan.
Miner, they used to call him Baby Jordan. J.R. Ryder. All these dudes was sons. Jerry Stackhouse, they was sons of Michael, man.
Yeah.
Like these guys got sons. How many sons do you have? Kobe was Michael's son. God bless the dead.
Very true.
So if the second greatest NBA player of all time is your son, and he says, I learned my game from him, what does that make you? Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Steph Curry.
Wow.
Okay. Then Bron, then Magic. That's my top 5.
It's true. Jordan had I think it was Come Fly With Me, the tape before you could access the stuff. And you could tell who watched, studied Come Fly With Me.
Yes.
Kobe.
I mean,
Every move.